Have you ever played a deck where you have this one card? The trust me, bro, I got the spice. I know it's not the best, but I like it. It provides the deck its own unique identity. A little soft spot for jank in an otherwise competent strategy. Well, I figured that why not we incorporate all of these ideas into a little series. Hello everyone, it is I, RainingCardGames, and welcome to a brand new, ongoing series that I have that I'm going to be calling Jank Turbo Yu-Gi-Oh. So the premise of the series is we are going to take a card that would be classified as jank, whether that be absolute dog water or something that wouldn't be ideal, but it's kind of cool.
Not lame!
And see which decks we can kind of jam it in. So usually we're going to go around probably, I'd say, 3 different decks where I'm going to be showcasing this card and the engine to facilitate it and see where it fits in the best. We're finding its Yu-Gi-Oh niche. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into what we are going to be looking at for today. And also please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to try to make First of the Dragons work. Yeah, that one. So First of the Dragons, it is a fusion monster, which can only be fusion summoned, so it can't be special summoned other ways. But more importantly, it takes 2 normal monsters to create. This very much limits what we can play it in. However, I got some ideas. Okay, so First of the Dragons. As I mentioned already, must be fusion summoned, 2 normal monsters. Once it's on the field, it can't be destroyed by battle, except by battle with another normal monster, and it is unaffected by other monster effects. So it's a pseudo towers in a way. Our first sampling that we are going to be trying to facilitate it will be with normal pendulum. So normal vanilla monsters with pendulum effects. Lance Varankus giving us piercing ability. If we have just a little bit of a boost in terms of battle damage with Dragonhorn Hunter, Sky Dragoons, all the Draconia cards, realistically we are just trying to make sure that we get enough monsters to summon the conditions for First of Dragons. We have a little Performapal engine. Skullcrow Joker, it's a pendulum, 8 scale, great for us if we need to pen summon, but also because we are going to be searching out Trump Witch, which, once per turn, I can fusion summon a monster using monsters I control. Straightforward, scale it, pendulum summon some bigger dudes if need be, but more importantly, use it as fusion material on normal, or I guess on field, its monster effect. I contribute it, add a polymerization, so I can recycle poly to get another First of the Dragons if need be. And just a bunch of cards to help facilitate and get me to what I need to do. The extra deck is just kind of there with the exception of him. So that's deck number 1. Deck number 2 is actually Tenyi. So we're going to try a little bit of a stronger deck than normal Pendulum. If you've noticed, we've been switching around what our normal dragon is going to be, because the other thing that I am just putting into the decks is Dragon's Mirror. If I have some normal dragons in the grave, well, guess what? I can banish them and still get to my First of the Dragons. Tenyi is a fun shell just because I can still unexpected die out a normal dragon. Does not interfere with the Tenyis whatsoever, and it also does give me a little bit more of a powerful shell behind the First of the Dragon's core, although I do have to play my cards carefully because I may be locked into worms from the extra deck. We have a little Predator Plant engine to help search us the polymerization, and we also, of course, have Painful Decision to help, fuel up the graveyard with Dragon dwelling in the cave, so we can have our Dragon's Mirror live. Also, 4, 1, that's a 5. that's dang long, so that also gives us a little bit more interruption with our deck. So this will be the more stronger of the First of the Dragon variants, if you will, but we've got one more. You know I cannot forget about this legendary dragon, which is a powerful engine of destruction, Blue Eyes. A deck that naturally revolves around normal monster. Not just any normal monster, a big normal monster. I've got plenty of different ways to facilitate. Also, Dragon Spirit of White is treated as a normal in hand or graveyard, which means Poly can still be live in order to fuse with just these two to go into First of Dragons. But we also have a bunch of other fusions that we can go into as well. A couple of synchros, 8s. All in all, I'm banking on the power of Blue Eyes. Hopefully this will be able to get us through. And realistically, I think, more so I hope, that all of this together, we will actually be able to summon the First of the Dragons at all, let alone win a game. If we can win a game, then I will take that as an even more plus. But with all of that said and done, I think it is now time to see how each of the decks does. Alright, so for our matchup for the normal Pendulum variant, we are going up against some kind of weird fairy hybrid. I'm not really sure what to call this deck. But in either case, we are already able to negate the Archlord Christia, luckily, otherwise we would have been totally locked out of doing anything. We try to extend a little bit more, can't do too much, so I just go into an SP Little Knight. Let's just deal with the Archlord Christia, set an Infinite Impermanence, hope for the best. We'll see where they go. They end up giving me 1,000 life points, which gets them a Storming Mirror Force. Okay, so we're going up against some other jank too, which is hopefully beneficial for our cause. We do lose the SP Little Knight, which is unfortunate. Now but it's only a Mothman. We've got an Alexandrite Dragon. I like my odds until I see the Storming Mirror Force. Send that right back to hand. I can still survive, but then Agent of Venus hits the field. So now my opponent can start, spam the little shine balls. This makes it a little more precarious for my situation. Chaos Angel hits the field, goes after my Called by the Grave. I just fire it off because I know I'm losing it regardless, so no Mothman. In either case, we do survive. Dragoons of Draconia is not really what I needed. I try to go for battle, maybe get something in, but it doesn't destroy, so I can't even get that off. And unfortunately, that doesn't trigger my Triple Tactics thrust. So we are in a losing position to the point where I can't follow up. So we scoop it up. Alright, and now for our Tenyi variant. We do fire off Painful Decision, and it looks like this hand is all First of the Dragons. There is nothing revolving around Tenyi whatsoever. So we use our Predaplan engine, get us an SP Little Knight, and we do get First of the Dragons to hit the field. Now we are going up against a cool deck. This is Evolzar Ogdoadic. This is a really cool monster mishmash of reptiles and dinosaurs. I love it. It's just a cool way to deck build. Luckily, we're able to stop them from going up into an Evolzar Xyz monster, and now it's time to smash into battle. We start to sink in some damage. We have an SP Little Knight. We have our First of the Dragons on the field. We're sitting strong. Now, how can we withstand up to this board? Reptilian Echidna hits the field. I don't banish just yet. I'm trying to play this out and see where would be a good point to banish. When the big Ogdoadic hits the field, I figured maybe this might be, but they had the quick play spell in hand to tribute their big rep Ogdoadic. So basically, I'm now stuck because I can't banish both of them, leaving me with a dead SP Little Knight on the field. Cosmic Fortress Stellar hits the field, which is nerve-wracking because, unfortunately, First of the Dragons, while it is unaffected by monster effects and can't be destroyed, it is affected by spells and traps, which means an Infinite Impermanence as well as that Planet Pollute Environs could have dealt with it in either way. And now we are in a losing position where I don't have too much comeback at this point. I don't have anything in my hand that can fix it. I don't have anything on the field that can fix it, so we lose. Well, if there's any deck that can save us, it has to now be Blue Eyes. We're going up against Ancient Warriors, so a decent deck. It does end on some interruption for us. we go and try to dig through our hand Melody of the Awakening Dragon, so we can have now 2 Blue Eyes monsters. We have everything we need to make First of the Dragons. Our alternative gets strike, which is actually good for us, so we don't have to worry about anything else being destroyed. This is what I was waiting for. The double Dragon Lords bounced my card, they interacted with me, triple attack 6 thrust, grabs us the polymerization, and we can have First of the Dragons hit the field. We now bring out Blue Eyes Ultimate Alternative Dragon, so we can actually pop all 3. You can't attack, but we can still punch in with First of the Dragons, but they do bring out a big Ancient Warriors monster, so we can't beat over it. They try to destroy us, but then they realize they cannot destroy First of the Dragons by battle. I've got the game on lock, and that's all she wrote.
And that's gonna do it. Oh boy. Were we able to summon it? Yes, we were. Did it always work out? No, it did not. Is Blue Eyes the best show for First of the Dragons? That is to be seen. Yes, we won with it, but I do like the card. If there's a way to easier facilitate it, I would like to know. But this is where I'd like to hear from all of you. A, what did you think of the series? And B, what do you think of First of the Dragons? Ooh, or maybe C, are there any other decks that you potentially could see this deck working in? How would you facilitate it? What are your other techs to get this jank working? I want to hear from all of you. But that being said, that's going to do it for the episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the new series. And yeah, look forward to some more Jank Turbo Yu-Gi-Oh! RCG's out of here.